How is the Ravana inside you doing? Let's go back a little. It's the Diwali time in India, and here we all celebrate with crackers the return of Sri Ram after a very victorious battle in Lanka with Ravana. Ravana is the key antagonist in the Hindu Ramayana. Let's look at Ravana's character a little more today and see, is there Ravana inside us? I want to talk about a few startling things which always have amazed me. What you see when you look at Ravana and the way he conducted during the whole episode, Ravana displayed what I call as unchecked ambition and greed for power. This led him to make a lot of mistakes. And when I look at the corporate world and you see people around who are in a hurry, who are successful, but their ambitions are running away with them, okay, and this whole power is showing up in them, and in this huge ambition and wanting to do more and more, they do mistakes. They make many mistakes. They take shortcuts. The corporate world is strewn with history of very, very, very strong people, very successful people. I don't want to take examples, but you know around you people who made some classic mistakes. Okay, so unchecked ambition and greed for power is one thing we must learn from Ravana, that it will lead to a downfall. Look at the way Ravana spoke to people. Okay, when his well-wishers also came and tried to tell him that he was not on the right path, his arrogance was very clear in his whole demeanor, his words. It was arrogant. You know people around you in your corporate world who are arrogant. They have tasted success, they have tasted growth, and now there is arrogance. Believe me, every Ravana I have seen in the corporate world has led to a downfall, a failure later. They are not the people who play long term. They're short term like a flame and then extinguish. Check your arrogance. If you study the character of Ravana very carefully, you will also realize that there is this very positive streak about the way he is got this huge loyalty towards his own family, loyalty towards his people, his kingdom, which will surprise many. That while there is one aspect of this strong loyalty towards his people, his kingdom, and then he goes and does this big mischief and mistake. It just tells us that the human being and his relationships are very complex. There is no black and white. There is this gray area which is very difficult to understand, and you need to keep looking. It's so easy to judge somebody one way or the other when you meet people in your corporate world. But remember, there is no black and white. There's only shades of gray. There is a very interesting point about dharma here. Okay, so while Ravana in his own way upheld dharma from the point of view of being a good leader for his country, his people, his family, also remember he was a big worshipper of Lord Shiva, and who actually gave him a lot of blessings, and he had a lot of powerful strengths which came from there. Overall, an honorable man who made mistakes, and those mistakes were more in the nature of moral and ethical mistakes. So while dharma, he followed to a certain extent, but dharma can't be just say 90% dharma. It can never be. It can never be 80%. It has to be 100%. If you follow the path of dharma, you need to follow it in totality. So what he did with Ma Sita is morally and ethically wrong, and that doesn't fit into the concept of dharma. So it's important to understand and look at ourselves and see, when we say that I follow the path of dharma, of righteousness, of what is right and wrong, but there are some things which we seem to ignore many times. That's our own dark area, and we must look at them, face it, and try and eradicate those evils from our life. So, in this season of Diwali, remember, it's an occasion where the good wins over evil. So, be good. In the long run, it always wins. Don't worry. And happy Diwali to all of you.